Can you kind of just start by talking a little bit about how things have gone versus your expectations? What are some things that you're really pleased with, and what are some things offensively and defensively that that you guys are looking to work on? I mean,
so some of the things that we are pleased by are our road trips. We've gone to 2 pretty good programs and had really good performances on the road, and both times had to find a victory differently. One, we had to come from behind, and then the other, we had to maintain and grow a lead. So that has been fun to witness. The boys getting a little battle tested. Defensively, last week we faced Houston, who was scoring 50 points a game, and held them to 14. So there was a really good game plan, and the team went out and executed the game plan. But right now, everything that we throw at the kids, they're accomplishing. So they're challenging us as coaches to give them even more without overload, but they seem to take the coaching in stride right now. And then offensively, we're doing a really good job of not turning the ball over and making sure that we're taking advantage of our possessions. And the last couple of opponents that we've played have tried to shorten the game, and we're still able to get enough points with shortened possessions.
I think if people watch Story of the Season or they read about you guys in the paper, I know, that you look at, Braylon and Kai as your 2 kind of offensive studs that have really kind of gotten a lot of the love and have been making a lot of big plays. But can you talk a little bit about some other guys that are making those things happen offensively, maybe behind the scenes, maybe it's the guys on the line? Just talk about some players that we don't hear about all the time that are helping make that.
So on the line, the first one that we would highlight has been Tristan Tarter. So Tristan Tarter has played running back for us in years past, and we approached him and said, hey, we are a better team if you can move to guard and play the way that you play running back as a guard. And that took a little convincing, but the O-line coach was in his ear and really promoting it, and he's done amazing things for us on the front, and we're excited by that move. And then Dean Tremoloni has some major catches. He's the one that kicked that field goal that extended the lead in Houston, but he was also the first score of the game, and he's gone out and made some critical catches at critical moments for us. Our tight ends, I've told our tight end group, we have about a 6-pack of tight ends, and I've said, hey, the game of football has changed and evolved, and a lot of teams are going to a spread style of an attack. And if we can get good play out of our tight ends, it creates a mismatch or a problem for opponents to have to deal with. So our entire tight end crew is doing a great job really helping us own the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about the defense as well. What you're pleased
Yeah, so we have a player that got moved to D-line. First time he's ever played D-line in his life. And he spent a little bit of time in between playing for us. So Jaden Hardy is a lineman who was a DB for us as a youngster, but early in the season we said, hey, let's see what he looks like as a nose. And I believe right now he might be our leading tackler on our football team from the nose with the position change. So that's been really impressive. Our D front is doing a really good job of just throwing lots of bodies at the D-line spot. So we have a good rotation and a lot of contribution coming from a lot of different players helping us win that line of scrimmage. And then our middle linebacker, Logan Slater, has been everywhere in certain contests for us. And that Gustine game, he had a lot of tackles and made a lot of plays for us. And we're getting a lot of enthusiasm and excitement from his play.
I think on paper we're in a much better spot at the current point in the season we're at right now than we were last year. Do you attribute that to senior leadership and experience, or what do you think that is?
We have great seniors. We have great senior leadership. That's one cornerstone of what's going on. But in the preseason and all up to this season, I was telling the coaches, we've had one student or one player get hurt that detracts from what I'm about to say, but to start the season, I think we had 14 kids that were running a 4.940 or faster. So we had a lot of collective team speed, and team speed is something that all coaches want in the game of football. So we have a lot of kids that are flying around and running to the football, and Jaden Hardy, one of our D linemen, is one of those kids. So we have a great collection of overall team speed.
Here's a question that you probably don't get a lot, but I always like to touch on it. Scout team is so important. Getting a good look, during the week for the team that you're going to play is so important. Who are some guys that have really stepped up and played maybe a critical role on the scout team that have helped you guys prepare for a lot of these wins that maybe we don't hear about in the newspaper or in the story of the season?
Yeah, so on that note of the look squad or the opponent look squad, we have tried our best to have as many different starters as possible. So what we're getting many times is we call them the alpha units. A lot of our starters on offense are going against a lot of our starters on defense within the week, which iron sharpens iron. So on game nights, a lot of our kids are not having to go as many snaps both directions, and we can only accomplish that if the alpha unit is getting the job done. So as opposed to most high schools of our size having 6 to 8 two-way starters, we try our best to keep that number as small as possible. So I think the most we've had in a game right now has been 5. There's been games where we've had only 2. So our goal is to try to maintain that. So just the collection of depth that we have been able to accomplish that has helped our legs in the fourth quarter.
We're approaching the midway point in the season. We've had 4 games under our belt here. So I think the bye week kind of comes at a good time. Guys can rest up and kind of approach the second half, the meat part of the season, and the second half of the season a little rested and ready to go. How are you going to approach, or how have you approached the bye week with these guys? Are you taking it a little easier, giving them an extra day or so of rest? And I guess on top of that, how are you going to approach the next game? We've got Stone Ridge on the 23rd coming up.
Yeah, so we, after the Houston week, we had experienced triple-digit heat for a week or longer. So our kids earned a day off. So we gave them Monday off just yesterday, and we'll get after it again this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And Friday, we haven't decided if we're going to try to do some type of team watch of our next opponent or not, or do something together. But this week, it's really hitting and going back to the fundamentals of football, of blocking and tackling and getting off of blocks and ball security will be addressed. And then as far as preparing for the next opponent, we get 2 weeks to do that, which we're very grateful for, because not only is the next opponent a little bit different style of offensive football, it's also taking place during homecoming. So with homecoming comes a lot of bells and whistles in addition to just the game. So yeah, this is a perfect time for our bye week.
Yeah, really
on that note, I forgot to say, had a talk with one of my assistant coaches, Cole Elkins, and most teams are looking really forward to the bye week to regain your health. We're entering this bye week -1 player really healthy. So we're able to capitalize on getting healthy as a healthy team going into the bye week.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for chatting with me today. I appreciate it. And enjoy the bye week, and good luck on homecoming.
All right. Thank you so much.
Awesome.